Hey guys, good morning. This is Derek from Bomb Socks. Welcome to another edition of BOM-BITES, where we're here to help you feast upon the words of Christ, one bite at a time. It is Easter Sunday, and we're grateful to be able to share this message with you today. We normally don't do these on the weekends, but we wanted to continue and finish up the church's Hear Him initiative with the message for Easter. Here it is. So it starts off, and this is on comeintochrist.org. Early in the morning, Mary Magdalene, a friend and follower of Jesus, comes to the tomb to care for Jesus Christ's body. To her astonishment, she finds the tomb empty, but she is not alone. A man addresses her, a gardener, she supposes, but then he says her name, Mary, and she sees he is Jesus, the Christ lives. And so the message today, it talks about hearing him through worship. And Mary does show that worship. She says, Master, as if to show worship to him. She is grateful to see him. So whenever I think of worship, the message that comes to my mind, there was a series of parables that were given years ago. It's probably been 100 years ago by James E. Talmage, who was an apostle back then. Very smart man. He shared these messages, these little parables once a month, and I think they were published in the Improvement era back then. So one of the parables I wanted to share with you, and I'm going to paraphrase it in my own words, it's called The Parable of the Grateful Cat. And I think for me, it embodies everything about Easter. It talks about how there's a man and he was walking down the street and he goes up to this pond. And as he walks past this pond, he sees two boys off in the distance. And they seem to be just kind of doing something, kind of seems like some foolish things. And he goes over and sees these boys, and he sees one of these boys. He has a kitten in his hands, a small kitten, and there's two other kittens just right to the side of him. And he takes this kitten and he throws it into the pond. And he sees a mother cat just running around the bank of the pond, just distressed. And they're going for another one. And he goes up to him. He goes like, whoa, what are you guys doing? And these boys say, well, our mom told us to come and get rid of the cats. I guess the mother cat there was their cat, and she'd given birth to these kittens, and they didn't want kittens. And so the mom said, go get rid of the cats. And so these boys decided, we're just going to toss them in the pond. And he said, look, cut it out. He pays them some money. He says, let me take the kittens. And so they were cool with that. They got money, and so they run away. He's got these kittens right here. The other one, sadly, had drowned already. And so he takes these two kittens with him, and he starts walking home. And the mother cat just comes up, and she is rubbing against his leg with grateful and mournful purrs. And she goes up to him, and again, she follows him home. He takes these kittens home. He takes the cat home, takes care of them, provides for them some shelter, some food, and anyway, doesn't really think much more about it. The next day, he's sitting there, he's got some friends with him, and he's just sitting there talking in his home. And all of a sudden, the mother cat walks in. And this mother cat has got this mouse in her mouth. It's not even dead yet, it's almost dead. And she comes up and she drops the mouse at his feet and then rubs against his leg. And so this is a parable. Now, Elder Talmage, this is what he said. Now, imagine you being in that situation. You're the guy, and all of a sudden this cat, and some of you may have even had this happen. Animals have been known to do this. They come up, and this cat comes up and drops a mouse at your feet. You're looking at it, and you're just like, thanks. And anyway, this is what Elder Talmage says, and I'm going to say this in his words. He says, are not our offerings to the Lord, our tithes, our free will gifts, and I'm going to add here, our worship of him, as thoroughly unnecessary to his needs as was the mouse to the scientist? But remember that the grateful and sacrificing nature of the cat was enlarged and in a measure sanctified by her offering. Thanks be to God that he gauges the offerings and the sacrifices of his children by the standard of their physical ability and honest intent, rather than by the gradation of his exalted station. Meaning, he's not judging our offerings on his standards. He's judging them on our standards. Verily, he is God with us, and he both understands and accepts our motives and our righteous desires. Our need to serve God is incalculably greater than his need for our service. And I've loved that because it seems like, again, when we show worship to God, it's not like he is sitting there upon his throne in his eternal realms just going, Why aren't my people worshiping me more? Me. That's not the God that I believe in. And that's not the Jesus Christ that I believe in. That's not the way they work. Our need to worship is much greater than their need for our worship. God doesn't need my tithing, but I need to offer it to him. He doesn't need that from me, but I need to be able to give that. And so on this Easter Sunday, and again, it's a Sunday, I'm dressed up. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm dressed up. That's my way of showing God that I love him. That's just my way. You don't have to do that, but I think each one of us has to find a way to show our worship to God. Not that he needs it, but we need to do that for him. And we need to do that. We need to show that worship, that adoration, that reverence. We need that. He doesn't need it. We need to be able to do that. And our nature changes as we show gratitude. Jesus Christ ransomed our behinds out of hell. How do you properly say thank you to someone who did that? Someone who is resurrected, who conquered both those, as Jacob called them in the Book of Mormon, the monsters of death and hell. How do you properly say thank you? You serve him. You serve his children. You worship him. And that's how you show that gratitude. So the last thing it says, on Easter and every day, we can celebrate the incredible joy that comes from knowing that Jesus Christ overcame death and sin so that we can do. And we can too. So how do you do that? You worship, you serve, and that helps us become stronger, and our grateful nature grows. So happy Easter, everybody. Death is conquered, man is free, Christ has won the victory. I love the message of Easter, and I hope this has been a help to you right there. Continue to worship and know that that will help you as you worship. So anyway, you guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And thanks for sharing. Tomorrow, Mosiah chapter 1 in the Book of Mormon. I'm excited. Happy Easter. Godspeed. See ya.